Hello and welcome. You're watching Hypnotherapy, Medicine for the Mind, TV here at WCTV. I'm Alan Alves, and I've been practicing hypnotherapy full-time for 18 years since 1999 in Fall River. In the world of hypnotherapy, whatever your mind can conceive, your body can achieve. In today's show, I'll be discussing how you can live a smoke-free life. Throughout this show, I'll talk with you step by step on how you can improve your life, live better, and live happier. Apart from extensive knowledge on the harmful side effects caused from smoking, still there are many people who smoke. According to the Center of Disease Control and Prevention, cigarette smoking is the leading cause of preventable death in the United States. Cigarettes-related deaths account for 480,000 deaths every year. In other words, that's 1 in every 5 deaths. The good thing is, cigarette deaths can be avoidable. The bad news is it's not that easy due to cigarettes' addictive nature. People who have quit smoking not only have improved their lives, but also saved money. According to the American Lung Association, the average cost per pack nationwide is $5.51 a pack. So if you smoke 1 pack of cigarettes every day, you can potentially save over $2,000 a year. So you're thinking, yeah, I know the harmful side effects of smoking. And yes, I understand I need to stop smoking. But the question is, how? How can I stop? Well, it starts with your positive thoughts. Are you ready to stop? Hello and welcome. Your consulting hypnotist will be with you shortly. But first, we'd like to spend a few moments prior to your session to help you better understand hypnosis and perhaps answer any question you may have on your mind. This will save a lot of time when your session actually begins. Our need for security and comfort begins in the womb with our mothers and continues through birth and adulthood. During those formative years, a child's mind is fertile ground. Whatever seed you plant will grow. A child takes note of things and people around it and instinctively starts to imitate and adopt the similar good and bad habits of its parents and/or guardians. When you hear the word hypnosis, you may imagine that madman popularized in movies, comic books, or television. This bearded Svengali waves a pocket watch in front of a glazed-eyed subject until he or she falls into a zombie-like state. Once hypnotized, the subject is forced to obey, no matter how strange, illegal, or immoral the request, uttering, "Yes, master," as the hypnotized subject goes about like a human robot during this Svengali's evil bidding. This popular representation bears little resemblance to actual hypnotism. In fact, modern scientific understanding of hypnosis has advanced a great deal in the past few decades. Subjects in a hypnotic trance are not slaves to their masters. They have absolute free will, and in fact, are hundreds of times more alert than normal. Hypnosis is neither black magic nor supernatural. Hypnotists and hypnotherapists are not psychics or palm readers with special powers. Hypnosis has been found to be a natural state of being, and hypnotherapy is based on many years of clinical research by famous psychologists such as Dr. Sigmund Freud, Dr. Carl Jung, and more recently Dr. Milton Erickson and Dr. John Kappas. In 1958, the American Medical Association, the AMA, accepted clinical hypnosis as an adjunct to standard medical care. The American Medical Association recommended that hypnosis instruction be included in the curriculum of medical schools and postgraduate training centers. All hypnosis is self-hypnosis. A hypnotist merely guides you into hypnosis and gives you the suggestions that you want for change. Now, to really understand hypnosis, you have to understand how the mind works. You have a conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Two very distinct minds with two different functions, and they have a hard time communicating with each other. We will now demonstrate the functions of our conscious mind and the subconscious mind using the Kind mind model, developed by Gerald Kind of the Omni Hypnosis Training Center, DeLand, Florida. We'll begin with the conscious mind, which is where we spend most of the time, and has 4 and only 4 functions. Number 1, willpower. We're familiar with this part of the conscious mind. With willpower, you might say, I quit, I'm not smoking anymore. Or, I'm going to the gym starting tomorrow and get rid of this extra weight. Depending on the strength of your willpower determines how long this lasts before it weakens and the old habit pattern once again returns. Number 2, temporary memory. This part of the conscious mind is your working memory that you use every day. Finding your way to work, your spouse and children's names, frequently dialed phone numbers, the memory you need to get you through a normal day. Number 3, the analytical thought process. This part looks at a problem, analyzes it, and seeks a solution to that problem that is bothering us at that moment. It makes hundreds of decisions in our daily life, decisions that appear to be automatic, but in fact are conscious and deliberate, like should I open the door, turn the water on or off, deciding whether to do something or not. Number 4, rational thinking. This part gives us the reasoning why we do things we do. In order for us to maintain a semblance of sanity, we must be able to rationalize our behavior, even if it makes sense to only us. As long as we believe it, it makes sense. One might say, I smoke because it relaxes me or calms my nerves, even though cigarettes are a stimulant and it's impossible to do either. But if one believes it to be true, it is. The language of the conscious mind is logic. Now, where the real you and I and everyone else lives, in the level below the consciousness called the subconscious mind, a very powerful computer-like mind, yet simple and childlike. The subconscious mind is where you will find, number 1, habits. Not just the good, bad, and the ugly, but also our practical habits we do without thinking about, such as answering the phone when it rings, combing the hair, brushing the teeth, etc. And 2, emotions. Love, caring, hate, anger, etc. Our logical conscious mind has no control. It is left up to the childlike mind, which causes the problems we have with emotions. Number 3, permanent memory. Everything that has happened in your entire life is recorded here, as if a video camera has been constantly running from the womb right up to this point in time. In a form of hypnosis called regression, you can relive vividly any memory in a lifelike fashion, such as your first birthday, complete with sight, sound, smell, and feelings. Number 4, security and protection. This is the number 1 job of our subconscious mind, our personal security. The language of the subconscious mind is imagination. Now, let's explain hypnosis in the simplest of terms. Normally, the conscious mind is in the front and the subconscious mind is in the background. In between the conscious and subconscious mind is like a filter or a curtain. We call it the critical faculty. What is it? It's critical of information before we let it enter our subconscious mind, that belief system, our permanent memory. So if I was to tell you that I had a dog that could talk, you would hear that with your conscious mind, filter that critically, and say this person is crazy, dogs don't talk. I'm not going to let this enter into my belief system or my programming. However, children from age 0 to age 7 are in the subconscious mind almost 100% of the time. That's why a child's mind is fertile ground, and whatever seed you plant, that's what's going to grow. I could convince a 5 or 6-year-old that I had a dog that could talk because they don't have the critical faculty of the subconscious mind as of yet. So all hypnosis is when that conscious, logical mind disappears and the critical faculty is bypassed and you're in your subconscious imagination mind susceptible to suggestions. Now this happens to you on a daily basis. Hypnosis is a natural state of being, and you've been there thousands of times in your life. Have you ever got sad or teared up at watching a movie? Well, your logical conscious mind knows it's only a movie, knows it's not real, knows that those are only actors and actresses, knows that there are people around there with cameras and microphones, yet you still become sad or tear up. Why? Because the conscious mind has disappeared. That thinking conscious mind has disappeared, and you're not thinking about work, the family, children. Your thinking mind has just disappeared. That critical faculty has been bypassed, and you're in your subconscious imagination mind, which can't tell the difference between what is real and what is not real. So you see a sad part, you tear up or cry. You see a scary part, you might jump. You see a gross part, your toes might curl in your shoes. You see the good guy on the cliff, you might hold your breath trying to help him hold on. None of it was real, but it was real to that subconscious mind. It controlled all those muscles, all those nerves, all those tendons. It controlled every fiber of your body, and it wasn't even real. This is the mind-body connection. When you read a good book, pretty soon the words turn into pictures in your mind. You're in hypnosis. You and I could read the same book at the same exact time, and when we came to the paragraph that read, "At the end of the windy dirt road, there was a beautiful farmhouse," you and I would picture a completely different farmhouse in our minds based on what we were programmed to believe what a beautiful farmhouse was supposed to look like. That's how the imagination mind works. So as you can see, the mind is similar to a computer. When you buy a computer, you buy it with a simple operating system. You want to do certain things, you have to buy programs to put in that computer to do what you want it to do. When you're born with a simple operating system. Programs are put into you by your parents, siblings if you had any, friends, relatives, enemies, classmates, teachers, boyfriends, girlfriends, so on and so forth. All become part of your programming. Some of it good, some of it bad. When you get a bad program in your computer, use an antivirus. Think of hypnosis as an antivirus for your mind. Now, one of the first programs that you get when you're born, because I'm going to take you all the way back to the womb. You're in the womb. You don't know what thirst is. You don't know what hunger is. Temperature's 98.6 degrees. All noises subdued. Once your subconscious mind is formed, and you look around and say, you know what? My security is perfect. Then that 9th month, you're shot out of that tube, bright lights, loud noises, temperatures drop 25 degrees. All the security you have known has been stripped away in an instant. The next thing you know, you're in mommy's arms with a bottle in your mouth or a breast in your mouth. And that's when you get your first program. I get security from mommy and an oral fixation. And as you get a little older and you trip and fall and say, Mommy, I hurt myself. Okay, here, have a cookie. That'll make it better. Oral fixation. And maybe you go into school and maybe you're bullied and the kids are picking on me, Mommy. Oh, ignore them. Here, have a piece of cake. That'll make it better. It's that oral fixation once again. So what program do we get security from an oral fixation? So what happens as we get older, because of that programming, when we have security issues, we look for that oral fixation. food, booze, or those cancer-causing cigarettes. They become, and it becomes a habit, and you are brought in. But now, the most important person that programs you now is yourself. And the most important conversations you have are the conversations you have with yourself in the privacy of your own mind at this deepest level of honesty, truth, and awareness when you're in hypnosis. The time has come for you to quit smoking, for your health, for your pocketbook, or whatever. You must realize that hypnosis can help you with that. Now, a lot of people will say that, oh, I smoke a pack a day or 2 packs a day. Usually, someone who smokes a pack and a half or less a day, that's a normal smoker. That's a habit smoker. If they're smoking 2 or 3 packs a day, then it's more than a habit. There's usually an emotional attachment with that cigarette. They're trying to bury some type of emotional issue that they had, whether it's presently or whether it's going all the way back to the childhood. Trying to bury that emotions with cigarettes, because the subconscious mind knows that cigarettes can kill you, and it's almost like a slow suicide. That's why these people don't make 2 or 3 packs a day. And so those people will care. But you can quit. It's very simple. All you have to do is want it. Because whatever your mind can conceive, your body can achieve. Okay, and now for our segment of questions from our audience, either online or out there in TV land. We're going to give our best to answer some of your questions, and we'll do it now. So let's hear those questions. For the same reason you're not dependent on other stuff, think of it this way. Whatever you think, your thoughts create feelings, feelings create actions, actions create results. So if you're thinking about that cigarette, well, it's going to have those going to turn into those emotional feelings, and those feelings are going to turn into action. You're going to reach for that cigarette. And so we change the thought pattern. That's a good question. And a lot of people who quit smoking on their own, whether it's cold turkey or they try any of these other things to help them quit, what happens is when you have a habit, you just change it for another habit. And sometimes some people claim that food tastes better when they quit smoking because their taste buds aren't clogged up with all that tar and nicotine. So food tastes better, so they tend to eat more. Or they replace that cigarette with food. Well, with hypnosis, we give you that habit. We exchange that cigarette habit for water. So every time you want a cigarette or feel like you have a cigarette, instead, your lips will dry, your tongue will dry, your mouth will dry, and the only desire you'll have is for a glass of cool, refreshing, life-giving water. That's a good question. Maybe you should work on the issues that are causing the stress, where you're relying on cigarettes because your subconscious mind believes that's helping you deal with stress. Cigarettes don't relax you. Cigarettes are a stimulant. It's scientifically impossible for a stimulant to relax you. But if that subconscious mind believes it to be true, it's true. So we just change what that subconscious mind believes. The power is within you. Now, all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. I merely guide you into hypnosis and give you the suggestions that you want for change. So, you want it, you can achieve it. All you have to do is want it. And then hypnosis can help you reach that goal. The conscious mind and the subconscious mind, as you saw in the video, when we reprogram you using hypnosis with the suggestions that you want, we make that conscious mind who wants to quit smoking, who wants to get rid of this and save money and all that. But the subconscious mind doesn't really want to quit smoking because it has all these programs in there that were put in artificial, like, oh, I need to smoke when I make love, when I have a beer, or after a meal, and all those programs in there. And so what we do is we make that subconscious mind equal to the conscious mind, and then you're a non-smoker. But by the same token, because hypnosis is self-hypnosis, that conscious mind can program that subconscious mind. So your thinking is in your conscious mind. So you think positive, you'll have positive results. If you think negative, you'll have negative results. Well, thank you for watching us here at WCTV. I hope you return and come back soon, see us. But my time is up. Thank you for yours. And remember, whatever your mind can conceive, your body can achieve. Have a good night tonight and a better day tomorrow.